I have to say that one of the main things that makes this whole process of doing your own thing, walking away in solitude for a period of time away from the community, one of the things that's going to help you is not giving no more energy and power to anybody outside of you. And then realizing when you're giving it automatically. It is, I think it doesn't matter what tradition you're walking away from, like, or what it is you're walking away from. But I'm going to stick it pointedly here and then I'm going to jump to another example. One of the biggest reasons that people stay in ATRs and stay in disrespectful situations where they're being not treated so well, we'll say that, right? Is the fear of what the backlash could be from them leaving. Your name in the pot, under some candle somewhere, in some bottle or whatever, right? Or, buried in some cemetery, you name it. It's all kinds of stuff like that that really gets people going and they get very terrified. And these are initiated heads. Because you have seen your elder doing this work to other people. If you're being honest, you've seen it. You're very much aware of it because they may be talking about it. Maybe you weren't in the room, but in some cases, you was in the room. So this makes the path that you would walk down much more like, am I going to do this? I've heard all kinds of things. Seen, heard from other workers, you name it. And a lot of people honestly think they got more bidding and power with God than you do. And you think they do too. And when you begin to recognize that your station at the foot of your ancestors and your deities and God are just as solidified as the person that you're walking away from, you then should begin to get a little bit of in your back. You should begin to feel like, okay, and did you, don't go back and forth with them. It don't make no sense to do that. Because it's you keeping a thought process going in your mind. I have to say that I believe a lot of work, a lot of people's worries about people doing work on them and even their confirmations are built in their minds and confirmed in their minds. And so because everybody respects them and respects what they say, and they don't really understand the inner workings of human spirituality and how deep and how powerful we are as individual beings, we give too much credit to these people who we would then turn around and be okay with them hurting us. We don't understand that we own a lot of real estate and all of that. And you got to back up. Because I'll be very clear. None of the deities are at that. They're not doing that mess with us. We're doing it to ourselves. And we are that powerful to do it to ourselves. We really are. They will help us in our lives. But if these are benevolent and amazing beings, they don't come down to the level of humanity and everything becomes about some human emotions, and human emotions are driving high-level deities. It don't work like that. It just does not work like that, period. So it's kind of time to take a little bit of accountability and go, how much power did I give this person in my life, in my mind? And as soon as you decide they ain't got no much more power in your life and in your mind, Well, now let's look at the relationship with the deities. I think you gotta sit back, take some time with that one. I did. I had to. You don't have to do it my way. Do it right now. If you walked away yesterday, ran across my video yesterday, and then you see in this one today, you do it right now. It is my belief that the Orisha, again, the Orisha, the Loas, the Abosums, the Voodoos, you just keep pushing. These, okay? When we've initiated to them, there's a covenant going on between us and them, not us and the everybody else that was in the room that day, or no, it's just not like that. It's just you and them. And if you are not sitting around batting an eye at the idea that somebody could do something to you, what makes you think they are? They could care less. And I mean, really, I remember hearing this from an elder years ago. Said, we don't care nothing about y'all like that. Like, they're natural forces of the universe. It's human beings that are causing problems for themselves. It's not them. They're not jumping down in there and giving you punishment. That stuff don't happen like that. Then I could hear somebody go, so people just get away with it. Well, if we're quiet, or if we stay there, aren't we being part of that process where people just get away with it? And then when I say quiet, I mean we're not even questioning it ourselves for ourselves, and realizing that abundance doesn't come from this relationship that you have created with this human being. It just doesn't work like that. Your abundance was always inside of you, going out and coming back, going out and coming back. That's the flow of life. It is. Think about how the rivers and the oceans move. They back and forth all the time. That's abundance. That's how it flows. And so to believe that it is always outside of ourselves is where part of our problem is coming in. And there is so much more to go deeper with this, because it calls into question the ways a lot of things have been done for a very long time. But part of the problem is that the way things have been done for a very long time. And if it is respectful to your inner being, your higher self, your Ori, to put another human being who was having human struggles over your own head, you've got some more stuff you got to work on. It doesn't matter. At the end of the day, when you see people who have power over people who would not question this, they wouldn't question any of this. When you see people who have power over other people who wouldn't question this type of thing, and they abuse that power, you are looking at a problem. And if you decide to be a part of that, the idea of later on walking away and then saying, I'm not scared, or I am scared, these are things that you have to really look at. Because why are you addressing fear at all? This is a human being. And people honestly believe there are people out there that have a bigger amount of power within the spiritual realm than they do. And I'm going to calmly say, I will say this. I think the first cry of an innocent into the spiritual realm is much more powerful than those that are always there. I have seen it. I have seen it. A baby crying in the spiritual realm is getting ready to get all the attention. Is that who made the baby cry now? I'm not saying the elders do not hold their power, but they have seen that shift. They know what it is. That once we come into any type of spiritual authority, and this is early in. You may not even be in a tradition. You could just be picking up a book and taking some baths. What is it? Spiritual Cleansing by J.J. McHarrick. Years ago for me was that book. And I wasn't associated with a soul. I was taking them baths. Okay, and then eventually started creating my own and learning so much more, right? But nonetheless, first bath cleansed the bunch of, you understand? Just gone. Gone, baby, gone. And so if it's off me, and then we walk out into the universe and we have this belief, we have this excited, like, could this, oh my God. And then everything starts to fall into place. We see this. We've seen this. We've experienced this. And I will say that if you did not experience this by yourself in your own bathtub, because you did read something from a book and decided to just do some prayers over some herbs and see what would happen, if your first introduction into this was someone else praying over the bath for you, and you seeing what would happen, you may not have the chutzpah to then stand up and say, I'm just as important to God as you are. I'm just as important to Olodumare as you are. I'm just as important to my ancestors as you are to yours. Come on, stop playing. And we didn't come, nobody's ancestors came here to do this. And I will say this, especially since recent, oh my goodness, within the past, well, it's been almost a year. It'll be a year next month. So some things I've learned as a priestess through transition, watching, seeing different relatives transition, and notice that the relationship that they have with me is a relationship I'm willing to have with them. And that relationship was heavily influenced by our experiences here as human beings. And so now that they have transitioned to another level, like there's one in particular I have over there that she was a humdinger, honey. And I've slowly had to take some time to get over it. And I mean really take some time. And she hasn't had any bad effect on me. I don't engage with her. I'm not going to do that. Now, other people in my family may. Me, I'm all right. But there is no back and forth. There's no hanging. There's no yapping. I'm not doing all of that. Meaning, I can see her from time to time. And she's transitioning. She's moving forward. It's about me letting go of my pain down here that makes it so that I could even get to the point of saying, she moving forward. She all right? Because when she first went, I was like, I don't want to hear nothing. And that energy was coming through. I was like, we all have different relationships with our energies. Right? And in those differences are the experiences of our lives. But again, we're all going through it, and we all have our lives that we are experiencing. Why are we putting another human being on top of ourselves and saying they're more important than we are? I just think you want to give that some thought. Don't live your life in fear. Take yourself to the river. Do an offering if you want to. You know, go to the go to the four corners or the six corners. Yeah. Power bases. Make your offering. Leave energy there. Leave conversations there. Make this a bigger process than a group of people that haven't got themselves in check yet. Because it's just too much hurt going on. You can't stay in a place where you are hurt and not progressing. That you cannot do. Move forward, my people. Move forward. Seriously. Because it makes life better. Now, I come here, I talk a lot about astrology. The main reason that I talk about astrology, I'll talk about saints at some point too. And I'll talk about maybe even angels, right? You have to begin to branch out and see that there is so much more in the way of being able to tap in than just this one thing you've been doing, or this one group that you've been doing, or these couple of groupings that you've been doing. Especially, again, if you're being hurt, if you are being disrespected, not accepted in these groups. And you know it. Only time you get a call is when it's time for money. What that look like? And sometimes you don't even get the call from the godparent. The godparent has somebody else call you and ask you for some money. Or tell you money is due. Really. It happens, boo. It happens. You can find other systems that work for you, that allow you to open up and go out into the world and be a success, and further contemplate life as you know it going forward. So that's why I come here and I talk about astrology a lot. Because astrology can look very confusing, but the more that you get into it, the more you understand. And okay. Again, I have lowered, well, this is the first time I'm announcing this, I've lowered the price of the Moon Moves Me. The main reason, because I want the information to get out there. Oh, I want the information to get out there. You go to the link, it's there for $1. The reason that it is there for $1, because the knowledge is needed for Cancer risings in particular, and I would say also Scorpio moons. I'm setting up a special page that I'm going to put at the end for, or put at the end of the stack for the Scorpio moon process, so that you can understand the different things that you can do to make life a little bit more luckier for you. At some point, I will probably look into the Capricorn moon too. Okay, so again, what is the whole point of this video? To let you know that there is peace outside of the tradition, and to not live in fear of what you know people have been known to do in the past. Because when you live in the fear and you give them your mind, that's when it actually has the power. It does, and I know this is a hard concept to understand, especially if you are a person that honestly believes that you're giving offerings to deities to get them to give you stuff back. And that's just not how any of this works. It's how we've been taught it works, but that ain't it. That's not it. There's something else actually deeper going on there. And it looks like that. It looks like that. But it's about you, again, when you've been cleansed of that process of having to serve in that way, it doesn't always come, number one, with a book or a path to get on. That's number one. A book to teach you or a path to get on. And number two, it also does not always come with things being very clear to you. But we have known, there are quite a few of us that have known instances and experiences where the disrespect has gotten so nasty that it was just like, I'm done. And this is everywhere. This is happening everywhere. This is not brand new. Don't live in fear. Also, don't put the sins of a human being on the deities, because they don't have nothing to do with them. They don't have nothing to do with this. And number three, recognize where you are giving power over that you need to actually take back. I know. But you can do it. I promise. Have a great day. The moon moved me. The link will be in the description. It is $1 now, and it'll stay that way for quite some time. Because, people need the information. Alrighty. Bye.